We are a nation of migrants, and there's hardly probably anybody that lives in the UK that doesn't originally come from somebody who migrated here. How would you feel if something suddenly happened here, really suddenly, you didn't expect a war, something, and we had to send our children somewhere, we had to flee somewhere? Wouldn't we expect to be seen with open arms? We should be embarrassed about it. I think it's an atrocity.
Ruth, can I get your opinion of the asylum seeker barge?
Yes, I'm glad to see for a start that they couldn't get very many people on it. It is an absolutely shameful thing. I think that and the Rwanda thing, it's appalling. We are a nation of migrants, and there's hardly probably anybody that lives in the UK that doesn't originally come from somebody who migrated here. We absolutely should open our doors, and people keep going on about, there was mentions about, oh, well, if they're illegal, I heard somebody on the news yesterday said, but if they're illegal, we've got to put them somewhere. They're not illegal. They are migrants from somewhere. I mean, what would people feel? I'm a teacher and I often speak to my kids about this. I say, how would you feel if something suddenly happened here, really suddenly, you didn't expect a war, something, and we had to send our children somewhere, we had to flee somewhere? Wouldn't we expect to be seen with open arms? You know, and for me, I think we should be embarrassed about it. I think it's an atrocity.
What do you make of Suella Braverman using language like invasion, or Lee Anderson, the deputy chair of the Tory party?
You can't possibly record or print what I would say about her, basically. I mean, yes, I try to not think about her, you know, and just, well, the whole last few years, current government, the rest of it, it's a shambles. It's appalling.
There's been huge concerns on the barge about fire safety. There's concerns that they don't have access to life jackets, or they can't get off. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, I went to see Grenfell at the National Theatre yesterday, the matinee, and stunning show, brilliant performances, but what it was beautifully done, a sensitive subject, beautifully done, but again, made you angry because you got the list of the fire qualifications and the fact that the company was selling to the UK because they made it such a woolly. The laws were made so woolly and the regulations were made so woolly that you knew you could sell something that was an absolute fire hazard. So have they learnt nothing? You know, the fact that the Grenfell situation, there are still places with the same sort of cladding, that hasn't been dealt with. And it's a similar, they'll find themselves in the same situation. The barge shouldn't be there in the first place. And if it is there, then absolutely everything should be done so that those people are somewhere safe. What happens if there is a fire? You know? Well, maybe the same thing as Grenfell. It'll be in the news for a few days, and then the people that did all the damage won't even get mentioned or accused of anything, basically.
What do you think about the UK's overall approach to immigration at the moment?
I think we probably got that. I think it shouldn't be tightened. Compared to a lot of the other European countries, we take very few, in fact, if you look at the figures. And I absolutely think that we should be, you know, I'm not talking about people that have come in, you know, well, actually just anybody, even if people say, well, they're coming to take our jobs, you know, well, don't we all go off to Spain and take people's jobs and go off to other parts of the world and take people's jobs? You know, we are a place where we should embrace people that are coming in, because the people we're talking about, if they are political migrants, they are migrants coming from war-torn countries, from places where you can't find somewhere to sleep, eat, drink, find fresh water. You know, we should be looking after these people. You know, it's karma. Everything comes back to you. And we shouldn't be treating people like that as if they are, as you say, as if they're, you know, a bit of dog shit on the sole of our shoe. We should be caring for these people.
Do you want to add anything?
I can't very much add anything to Ruth, as I couldn't anyway. I just love her dearly and she could speak for me. But I will say this, we do remember that migrants are part of our trading, etc. in shops, in food, and we all love all the different nationalities and their food. And I'm fine about them, absolutely fine. I know that wasn't your first question, but Ruth's done very well on that one. Yeah, I'm Trish, and thank you very much indeed for your time.